On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples:
Fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Awful.
Causing fear, dread, or terror, very bad or unpleasant.
Examples:
An awful error. Do awful damage. I regretted making an awful mistake in my final exam.
Emotion.
A strong feeling such as love, anger, etc., deriving from one's situation, mood, or relationships with others.
Examples:
Control my emotion. Afraid to show emotion. Some emotions are common across cultures and backgrounds.
Revolution.
A large-scale attempt to overthrow the government of a country, often using violence or war.
Examples:
Beginning of the Industrial Revolution. A political revolution. The revolution by the citizen resulted in a redistribution of wealth.
Psychiatry.
The branch of medicine concerned with the study, treatment, and prevention of mental illness.
Examples:
Psychiatry therapy. Biological psychiatry. The field of psychiatry is constantly evolving, with new treatments and approaches being developed all the time.
Psychedelic.
Relating to or characterized by the use of drugs or the effects that produce altered perceptions, heightened awareness, and vivid imagery, describing art, music, or fashion characterized by bright colors, bold patterns, and unconventional designs.
Examples:
Psychedelic therapy. Psychedelic art. The Beatles' psychedelic music was a hallmark of the 1960s counterculture movement.
Magic.
Beliefs and actions employed to influence supernatural beings and forces, any art or performance that invokes supernatural powers.
Examples:
A magic spell. She is magic. He performed magic tricks with sophisticated moves.
Mushroom.
A type of fungus that grows on dead or decaying organic matter and typically has a stalk and an umbrella-shaped cap.
Examples:
Mushroom spores. Mushroom cultivation. The mushroom risotto was delicious, but I couldn't identify all the mushrooms in it.
Psilocybin.
A naturally occurring psychedelic compound found in more than 200 species of mushrooms, which produces various perceptual, cognitive, and emotional effects when ingested.
Examples:
Psilocybin mushrooms. Psilocybin microdosing. The use of psilocybin in religious ceremonies has been documented in various cultures throughout history.
Component.
One of several parts that combines with others to form something bigger.
Examples.
Key component. Spare components for cars. The researchers try to discover a common component in all types of successful organizations.
Substance.
The real physical material of which a thing or person consists, the most important or main part of some idea or experience, an illegal drug.
Examples.
An explosive substance. Substance abuse problem. The substance of the argument was well presented.
Vibration.
A continuous quick and slight shaking movement.
Examples.
Protection against vibration. Sympathetic vibration. Vibration displaced part of the mechanism.
Detect.
To find or recognize something, especially something difficult to see, hear, etc.
Examples.
Detect a bad event. Detect smuggling across borders. The security camera has detected 4 intruders.
Aesthetic.
Connected with the enjoyment or study of beauty.
Examples.
Aesthetic value. Aesthetic feeling. My aesthetic standards are quite different from hers.
Biology.
The scientific study of life and the natural processes of living things.
Examples.
Evolutionary biology. Cell and molecular biology. In junior high school, we had to dissect a frog in biology class.
Chemistry.
The branch of the natural sciences dealing with the composition of substances and their properties and reactions.
Examples.
Professor of chemistry. The chemistry of soil. He is familiar with chemistry and biology.
Chemical.
Relating to or connected with chemistry.
Examples.
Toxic chemicals. A chemical compound. The firm has grown into a large chemical manufacturing.
Compound.
An item composed of 2 or more distinct elements combined, a chemical formed by the combination of 2 or more elements.
Examples.
Aquatic compound. Harmful compound. Common salt is a sodium and chlorine compound.
Ingest.
To take food or drink into the body, often through the mouth, to absorb or assimilate something, often used to describe the intake of information or knowledge.
Examples.
Ingest food. Ingest medication. People who compulsively ingest non-food items, such as dirt or chalk, suffer from a condition called pica.
Interact.
To communicate or react with somebody.
Examples:
Interact directly with customers. Interact with one another. He should interact more with his colleagues.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples:
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Temporary.
Not lasting or be used for a very long.
Examples:
A temporary permit. Temporary housing. He managed to get temporary jobs during the recession.
Trigger.
To make something happen suddenly. To cause something such as a device, machine, etc. to function.
Examples:
Trigger a biochemical response. Trigger inflation. The incident triggered a political controversy.
Unexpected.
Not anticipated or regarded as likely to happen.
Examples:
An unexpected visitor. Some unexpected events. The unexpected rainstorm caused the collapse of the corral.
Well-being.
The state of being happy and healthy and prosperous.
Examples:
The well-being of a nation. A sense of well-being. We are responsible for the care and well-being of all our employees.
Complementary.
Serving to complete or enhance something in a way that is suitable or pleasing.
Examples:
Complementary therapies. Self-complementary region. The two art pieces were hung on opposite walls and acted as complementary elements in the room's decor.
Circumstance.
The specific conditions or events that surround a particular situation or occurrence.
Examples:
Circumstance of birth. Circumstance of injury. She explained the circumstances surrounding the accident.
Therapeutic.
Relating to or involved in the treatment of illness or injury.
Examples:
Therapeutic massage. Therapeutic administration. Yoga is known to have therapeutic benefits for the mind and body.
Manifest.
To show something such as feeling, attitude, quality, etc., clearly through signs or actions.
Examples:
Manifest as the word. Manifest displeasure. The Prime Minister manifested his regret for his neighbors.
Scan.
To examine something hastily, with the eyes or with a machine, to get information.
Examples:
Scan the face of a man. Scan a document into PDF. She stood on the podium and scanned an audience.
Lever.
A handle used to operate a vehicle or a machine, a rigid bar resting on a pivot so that one end of it can be pushed or pulled easily.
Examples:
A gear change lever. Lever for reform. This initiative will be a lever for increasing company sales.
Purposeful.
Having a specific aim or purpose, determined.
Examples:
Purposeful series of actions. At a purposeful pace. She had a purposeful look and was determined to complete the task.
Fashion.
A style that is popular at a particular time or place, the state of being popular.
Examples:
Go out of fashion. New fashion trends. That style is no longer in fashion.
Healing.
The process of becoming or making somebody or something well again.
Examples:
Natural healing ability. Part of the healing process. Each ancient tribe has its healing traditions.
Integrate.
To combine one thing with another so that they form a whole or work together. To accept equal participation for members of all races and ethnic groups.
Examples:
Integrate into the existing system. Integrate both businesses. He found that it is difficult to integrate socially.
Intent.
A strong determination or attention to do or achieve something. Adjective, having a strong determination to do or achieve something.
Examples:
The intent of a question. Intent gaze. The designer's intent was to create a minimalist aesthetic for the interior of the building.
Roughly.
Approximately, but not precisely, with a violent manner.
Examples:
Roughly explain my idea. Roughly speaking. 5 miles is roughly similar to 8 kilometers.
Communal.
Belonging to or used by a group rather than individuals, for common use.
Examples:
Communal swimming pool. Communal combination of funds. Communal elections were held in several European countries.
Orchestra.
A large group of musicians who play classical music together, usually with instruments such as strings, woodwinds, brass, and percussion.
Examples:
Full orchestra. Orchestra conductor. The accomplished orchestra will give 2 more performances this week.
Salsa.
A type of spicy sauce or condiment made from tomatoes, onions, chili peppers, and other ingredients, commonly used in Latin American and Mexican cuisine, as well as a lively social dance style with origins in those same regions.
Examples:
Salsa music, homemade salsa dip. We brought chips and salsa to the party as a tasty appetizer.
Meringue.
A sweet, whipped dessert topping made from egg whites and sugar, usually baked or cooked and used to top pies, cakes, or pastries.
Examples:
Meringue topping, chocolate meringue pie. The meringue on the lemon pie was perfectly fluffy and sweet.
String.
Long, thin material used for tying things together, composed of several twisted threads.
Examples:
Retie the string and make it strong. Tense piano strings. She wore a string of pearls around her neck.
Morph.
To change or cause to change something or someone smoothly and gradually from one thing to another.
Examples:
Morph into a different shape. Morph into something entirely different. This company morphed into an enterprise company.
Hardcore.
A subgroup or subculture within a larger group or community that is characterized by a particularly intense, committed, or extreme set of practices, beliefs, or values.
Examples:
Hardcore group. Hardcore music fan. The hardcore gamers were up until 4 a.m. playing video games.
Punk.
A type of a loud, fast-moving, and aggressive form of rock music originating in the 1970s, an aggressive and violent young man or boy.
Examples:
Punk rock. Clothes of the punk style. We are never intimidated when dealing with young punks.
Psychology.
The scientific study of mind and behavior.
Examples:
Psychology experiment. Psychology of crowd. She had a master's degree in psychology.
Neuroscience.
The scientific study of the function, structure, and disorder of the brain and the nervous system.
Examples:
The branch of neuroscience. A theoretical concept in neuroscience. Our university is famous for its professors, who are well-versed in behavioral neuroscience.
Appreciate.
To value and acknowledge the worth of someone or something, to be grateful for something or someone.
Examples:
Appreciate her feedback. Appreciate the value. We would appreciate an early reply.
Implicit.
Suggested but not directly expressed.
Examples:
Implicit bias. Give implicit consent. The implicit meaning behind his words was clear, even though he did not explicitly say it.
Explicit.
Stated clearly and in detail, leaving no room for confusion or doubt.
Examples:
Explicit content. Explicit instructions. The movie had an explicit sex scene that some viewers might find offensive.
Regulate.
To control something, especially by means of rules or laws.
Examples:
Regulate blood sugar levels. Regulate our conduct. We must manage to regulate our expenditure.
Heal.
To make a wound or injury to become well again.
Examples:
Heal a broken bone. Heal the hurt mind. It will take time for her mental scars to heal.
Fascinating.
Extremely interesting.
Examples:
Fascinating story. Completely fascinating to me. The museum houses a fascinating collection of Celtic artifacts.
Evoke.
To bring or recall a feeling, memory, or image into your mind.
Examples:
Evoke a sense of awe. Evoke sympathy. This movie is likely to evoke strong emotions in the viewer.
Nostalgia.
A sentimental longing or wistful affection for a period in the past.
Examples:
A warm nostalgia. Nostalgia trip. The ice cream truck sound brought back nostalgia for my childhood.
Bittersweet.
Having a mixture of both positive and negative emotions or experiences, simultaneously pleasant and painful.
Examples:
Bittersweet ending. A bittersweet memory. The graduation ceremony was bittersweet as the students said goodbye to their classmates and teachers.
Intimate.
Having a very close friendship, personal.
Examples:
My intimate affairs. Intimate relationship. He has an intimate knowledge of American history.
Autobiographical.
Relating to or based on the experiences, thoughts, or life story of oneself, about one's own life history or personal narrative.
Examples:
Autobiographical narrative. Autobiographical memory. The author wrote an autobiographical novel about growing up in a small town.
Encounter.
To face something, particularly something unpleasant or difficult, while attempting to do something else, to meet, especially unexpectedly.
Examples:
Encounter a crisis. Encounter a storm. I'm prepared to encounter challenges throughout this adventure.
Highway.
A main road, especially one connecting major towns or cities.
Examples:
Highway system. An interstate highway. I'm going to take the highway to get to my destination faster.
Recommendation.
An official suggestion that something is good or suitable for a particular purpose or job.
Examples.
Follow his recommendations. A letter of recommendation. We made a recommendation to the client.
Immediately.
Now or without delay.
Examples.
Immediately recall a product. Write him an answer immediately. A suspension order from the court is effective immediately.
Transport.
A system for moving people or products from one location to another using automobiles, roads, and so on.
Examples.
Transport facilities. Access to public transport. Enhanced rail transportation is crucial for our business.
Dump.
To deposit or dispose of something, such as trash, waste, etc., carelessly or hurriedly.
Examples.
Dump the gravel on the road. Dump hazardous waste. The company dumped him after several years of service.
Immerse.
To become fully involved in a particular activity, to dip or submerge in a liquid, especially so that they or it are entirely covered.
Examples.
Immerse the cloth in the dye. Completely immerse the ingredient. He immersed himself in his research.
Promenade.
A stroll or walk, often taken in a public place or park. A public place for walking or strolling, often filled with shops or vendors. A dance movement in which the partners move around the floor in a circle or similar pattern.
Examples.
Evening promenade. Promenade in the park. The boardwalk by the beach was a beautiful promenade for tourists and locals alike.
Context.
The circumstances, facts, or conditions that surround a particular event, situation, or statement and that give it meaning.
Examples.
Historical context. Legal context. It's important to understand the context of a situation before making a decision.
Cue.
A signal, gesture, or action that provides information or direction for someone else to act or respond, a reminder or prompt for someone to do something.
Examples.
Cue card. Visual cue. The director gave the actor a cue to begin the scene.
Intense.
Especially of a feeling, very strong, extremely sharp or severe.
Examples.
Intense heat. Develop intense itching. That statement by the Prime Minister drew intense international criticism.
Vivid.
Producing very clear, powerful, and detailed images in the mind.
Examples:
vivid colors. Still vivid in my memory. She made a vivid impression.
Weave.
To make cloth, a carpet, a basket, etc., by repeatedly crossing a single thread through two sets of long threads at a right angle to them.
Examples:
weave on a loom. Weave a story. The girl weaves a garland for her friend.
Authentic.
Known to be real and what people say it is, not a fake or copy.
Examples:
an authentic signature. The sets were meticulously authentic. The stages of the play were meticulously authentic.
Emotional.
Relating to people's feelings.
Examples:
emotional health. Emotional distress. Human emotional responses vary widely depending on the society to which they belong.
Stave.
A long, narrow piece of wood or similar material, often used as a structural element in construction or to make barrels, musical instruments, furniture, or other objects. Verb, to fend off, ward off or prevent something from happening.
Examples:
stave off a conspiracy. Barrel stave. They used iron staves to hit the ships and prevent them from approaching the harbor.
Threat.
A strong indication or likelihood of harm, danger, or adverse consequences. An expression of intent to inflict harm or injury on someone or something, often made as a means of coercion or intimidation.
Examples:
economic threat. Environmental threat. The threat of severe weather prompted the city to issue an evacuation warning.
Imminence.
The state of being about to happen soon, the quality of being impending or imminent.
Examples:
imminence of danger. Imminence of war. The imminence of the storm led the residents to take shelter.
Horizon.
The line at which the Earth's surface and the sky appear to meet, the range of interest or activity that can be anticipated.
Examples:
the event horizon of a black hole. Business horizon. As the sun set, the colors of the sky merged with the horizon, creating a beautiful orange and pink hue.
Tap.
To hit someone or something quickly, gently, and often repeatedly, to use existing resources, such as energy, knowledge, etc.
Examples:
tap a new market. Tap keyboard with an index finger. To expand the company, we must tap new human resources.
Computation.
The act or process of calculating something, especially an answer or amount, by using a machine or calculator.
Examples:
parallel computation. Theory of computation. The researcher demonstrated the superiority of quantum computation in several mathematical tasks.
Cognition.
The psychological process of perception and learning and reasoning, the mental action or process by which knowledge and understanding are developed in the mind.
Examples:
social cognition, cognition disorder. The professor focused on the research of infant cognition.
Interrogate.
To examine someone with questions over a lengthy period of time, especially in an aggressive manner.
Examples:
interrogate an enemy soldier, interrogated by police. The lawyer spent a considerable time to adequately interrogate the witness.
Geek.
A person who is highly interested and knowledgeable about a particular subject or field, often to the point of being obsessed.
Examples:
airplane geek, geek enthusiast. He was a computer geek and spent all his free time coding.
Recruit.
To persuade someone to work for a company, to find new members for an organization, the armed forces, etc.
Examples:
recruit a good worker, recruit a new hire. The colonial government recruited militia support when civil war broke out.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
involve a lot of paperwork, involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Cognitive.
Of or relating to mental processes of understanding.
Examples:
improve cognitive function, research on cognitive psychology. His cognitive faculties were getting worse because of a lack of sleep.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal, a systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective, a method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
process improvement, decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Gyrus.
A convolution of the surface of the brain.
Examples:
gyrus function, cerebral gyrus. The inferior temporal gyrus is involved in object recognition.
Auditory.
Of or relating to hearing or the ability to hear.
Examples:
a good auditory memory, auditory system. The auditory nerve carries sound signals from the ear to the brain.
Grammar.
The set of structural constraints on speakers or writers' composition of clauses, phrases, and words.
Examples:
Grammar checker. Latin grammar. Mastering grammar takes a lot of time for those learning a foreign language.
Syntax:
The grammatical order or rule of words in a sentence.
Examples:
French syntax. Syntax error. Let's investigate the syntax of Latin.
Reward:
A thing given in acknowledgement of service, hard work, achievement, etc.
Examples:
The reward for good works. Shopping rewards cards. Night fishing has a lot of rewards.
Anterior:
Located in or directed toward the front.
Examples:
Anterior view. Anterior teeth. The anterior part of the skull is the forehead.
Insular:
A small island, particularly one situated off the coast of a larger landmass. Of anatomy, a region of the brain that plays a role in processing emotions and integrating sensory information.
Examples:
Insula region. Posterior insula. The brain's insula regulates emotions, empathy, and self-awareness.
Visceral:
Relating to or affecting the internal organs, instinctive or emotional rather than rational, characterized by deep-seated emotional reactions or responses.
Examples:
Visceral organ. Visceral fear. After watching the horror movie, she had a visceral reaction and couldn't sleep all night.
Inferior:
Lower in rank, status, or quality.
Examples:
An inferior poet. Inferior quality. The new employee's work was inferior to that of the experienced workers in the team.
Prefrontal:
In or about the foremost part of the frontal lobe of the brain.
Examples:
Prefrontal bone. Prefrontal region. Research shows that damage to the prefrontal cortex leads to increased aggression.
Cingulate:
A part of the brain situated in the medial aspect of the cerebral cortex that is an integral part of the limbic system, which is involved with emotion formation and processing, learning, and memory.
Examples:
A posterior cingulate. Ventral cingulate cortex. Researchers found marked differences in the anterior cingulate of the brain between species.
Insular:
Relating to, characteristic of, or situated on an island, especially an isolated one, interested only in your own country, group, ideas, etc., and not in those from outside.
Examples:
An insular country. Insular prejudices. She blamed his insular attitudes toward foreigners.
Parietal.
Relating to or situated near the wall of a body cavity, of, relating to, or involving the walls or outer surfaces of an organ or structure.
Examples:
Parietal cortex, parietal bone. The parietal lobe of the brain is responsible for processing sensory information.
Occiput.
The back part of the head or skull.
Examples:
Occiput muscles, occiput pain. The massage therapist focused on the client's occiput region to relieve tension in the neck.
Cortical.
Relating to or located in the outer layer of an organ or body structure, particularly the cortex of the brain.
Examples:
Cortical neurons, cortical activity. The MRI showed activity in the cortical region of the patient's brain.
Span.
The entire length of something, such as time or space from beginning to end, the amount of space that something covers.
Examples:
The span of a bird's wings. The average lifespan. He slightly modified the span of training because it was just before a match.
Faculty.
An inborn or natural ability to hear, see, think, move, etc., a department or group of the university concerned with a major division of knowledge.
Examples:
A member of the faculty. The ilative faculty of the mind. This university's computer science faculty is world distinguished.
Outsize.
Larger or more extensive than what is considered average or normal, of an unusually large size or amount.
Examples:
Outsize impact. Outsize equipment. The musician's outsize stage presence made her concerts an unforgettable experience.
Salvage.
The act of saving or rescuing something from potential loss or destruction, the property or items that are saved or rescued in this way. Verb, to save, recover, or rescue something from a dangerous, damaged, or deteriorating situation.
Examples:
Salvage operation. Salvage a sunken ship. The salvage yard was full of old cars waiting to be scrapped.
Eventually.
Finally, particularly after a long time or a lot of struggle, complications, and so on.
Examples:
Eventually become obsolete. Eventually succeed. The corporation eventually dominated the entire tobacco business.
Fade.
To vanish, to fade away, to lose color, to lose freshness.
Examples:
Fade away almost completely. Fade in importance. My memory will fade, but my heart will live on.
Band-Aid.
A small strip or patch of adhesive material, with a sterile gauze pad in the center, used to cover a minor wound or injury and help promote healing.
Examples:
Band-Aid solution. Temporary Band-Aid fix. I cut my finger, so I put a Band-Aid on the wound.
Antibiotic.
A substance or drug that kills or slows down the growth of bacteria.
Examples:
Antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic allergy. He has been prescribed an antibiotic to treat his infection.
Typical.
Having the usual characteristics or traits of a specific group of things.
Examples:
Typical leader. Fairly typical symptoms. This artwork is typical of her work.
Surgery.
Medical treatment of injuries or diseases involving an incision with instruments and often removing or replacing some parts of the body, the branch of medical science that treats disease or injury by operative procedures.
Examples:
Cardiac surgery. The professor of surgery. He had undergone heart surgery years before.
Intervention.
The action or process of being done to improve or help a circumstance, often they have not been asked to do so.
Examples:
Intervention by foreign powers. Surgical intervention. This intervention does not require the patient's consent.
Stick.
To put something, usually a sharp object, into something, noun, a thin piece of wood or other material.
Examples:
Stick a key in a lock. Fire stick. You stick a bill in the change machine, and the coins pop out.
Vex.
To irritate or annoy with petty frustrations, to cause distress or agitation.
Examples:
Vex my mind. Vex me all night. The loud noise from the construction site was starting to vex the nearby residents.
Difficulty.
A condition or state that causes problems.
Examples:
The degree of difficulty. Difficulty in breathing. He has difficulty exercising because of a back injury sustained in an accident.
Predict.
To state beforehand that something will happen in the future, mainly based on knowledge or experience.
Examples:
Predict the future. Predict when she will arrive. It's notoriously challenging to predict birth rates.
Precise.
Sharply exact or accurate or delimited.
Examples:
Precise analyses. Estimate precise costs. The content is precise and informative for me.
Stimulus.
Something that causes growth or arouses action. Stimulus. 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 Something that causes growth or arouses action.
Examples:
a response to a stimulus. Economic stimulus. This book provides children with ideas and a stimulus for outside recreation.
Individual.
A single person or thing, as distinct from a group.
Examples:
a private individual. Individual freedom. As an individual, he had the right to make his own decisions and live his life as he saw fit.
Disinterest.
Lack of interest, concern, or involvement in a particular matter, impartiality or neutrality.
Examples:
show disinterest. Disinterest in politics. The judge's disinterest in the case allowed for an impartial decision.
Disgust.
A strong feeling of dislike or disapproval.
Examples:
public disgust. Show disgust at his actions. He was filled with disgust and fear for the threat of war.
Navigate.
To plan and direct the way that a ship, plane, etc. will travel, often by using a map.
Examples:
navigate the Pacific. Navigate through a document. Our knowledge helps navigate our clients successfully.
Tradition.
A belief, custom, or way of doing something that has been passed down from generation to generation within a group or society.
Examples:
a tradition of a culture. Against tradition. It is a tradition in many families to have a big Thanksgiving dinner with all their relatives.
Modern.
Of or belonging to the present time or recent times.
Examples:
modern poetry. Pre-modern agricultural society. Their headquarters are in a modern skyscraper.
Volunteer.
A person who performs or offers to perform a job or service without being paid for or forced to do.
Examples:
seek volunteers. My volunteer work. The teachers make full use of volunteer assistance.
Therapy.
The act of caring for someone through medication, remedial training, etc.
Examples:
therapy for a patient. Field of gene therapy. I underwent aversion therapy for my addiction to alcohol.
Session.
A formal meeting or series of meetings for the execution of a particular group's functions, a period spent doing a particular activity.
Examples:
the morning session. The court session. Parliament is now in session.
Naive.
Showing unaffected simplicity and lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment.
Examples:
naive belief. Naive mistake. The con artist's lies quickly took in the naive young man.
Practically.
Almost or nearly.
Examples:
Practically constant. Practically impossible to find a parking spot. The store is practically empty.
Beg.
To ask for something urgently or earnestly, to appeal to someone to do something.
Examples:
Beg the question. Beg for help. She begged her parents to let her go to the concert.
Playlist.
A curated list of songs or audio recordings that can be played in a specific order or shuffled randomly, often created for a specific purpose or event.
Examples:
Personal playlist. Curated playlist. I created a playlist of my favorite songs for my road trip.
Touchstone.
A standard or criterion by which something is judged or evaluated, a fine-grained dark stone, such as jasper or basalt, used to test the purity of gold or silver in alloys by observing how much the color changes when rubbed against it.
Examples:
Artistic touchstone. The touchstone of truth. The touchstone for our company's success has always been our commitment to customer satisfaction.
Rekindle.
To revive or renew something that was previously lost or forgotten, often a relationship or feeling.
Examples:
Rekindle love. Rekindle hope. The couple tried to rekindle their relationship by spending more time together.
Insightful.
Having or showing a deep understanding and perception of a situation or subject.
Examples:
Acutely insightful. Insightful analysis. His insightful comments added a new perspective to the discussion.
Deploy.
To move troops or weapons into a position or military action, to bring into something in an effective way.
Examples:
Deploy troops for battle. Deploy safety measures. This country deployed its weapons in the East region.
Battery.
A device that is placed inside a car, gadget, equipment, etc., and that provides electrical power to them.
Examples:
A dry battery. Battery charging. The engine did not start because the battery was flat.
Questionnaire.
A form or document containing a series of questions used for surveying or gathering information from a group of people, often used in research, marketing, or social science studies.
Examples:
Fill out a questionnaire. Distribute a questionnaire. The company sent out a lengthy questionnaire to gather feedback from its customers.
Craft.
An activity that requires a particular skill in making things with one's hands.
Examples:
Craft arts of Japan. Craft manufacture. His hometown was where he first acquired the craft of wood carving.
Experiment:
The scientific test conducted to observe what happens and gain new knowledge.
Examples:
Experiment design. Series of experiments. His experiments showed highly positive results.
Fancy:
To want to do or have something, noun, something that many people believe but that is false, or that does not exist, imagination or fantasy.
Examples:
Fancy a cup of coffee. A flight of fancy. I don't fancy acting in such an important role.
Determinant:
A factor, circumstance, or condition that contributes to the shaping, influencing, or determining of a particular outcome or result.
Examples:
Environmental determinant. A determinant of crop yields. One determinant of success is having a positive attitude and a strong work ethic.
Depth:
The distance between the top and bottom of something, between the top surface and a distance below it.
Examples:
Depth camera. The depth of the water. The pond's depth was around 5 feet.
Colleague:
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples:
Collaborate with colleagues. Former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Instance:
A particular example or single occurrence of something.
Examples:
For instance. Notable instance. These articles cite 5 instances of climate change.
Relevance:
The state or degree of being closely connected or appropriate to the matter at hand.
Examples:
Have no relevance. Relevance category. The relevance of this information to the current situation needs to be investigated.
Suffer:
To experience pain, distress, or hardship, to undergo or endure something painful or unpleasant.
Examples:
Suffer a setback. Suffer bad grades. The older man suffers from arthritis and finds it difficult to move around.
Mood:
The way you feel at a particular time, an angry or impatient state of mind.
Examples:
The mood in a room. In an ugly mood. His gaffe spoiled the mood of the dinner party.
Disorder:
An untidy state or a lack of organization, a physical condition or illness that causes problems with how a section of the body or brain functions.
Examples:
The files are in complete disorder. People with bipolar disorder. The doctor prescribed some medicine for the mental disorder.
Thalamus.
A midline, interbrain structure that forms a major part of the brain's sensory and motor pathways, receiving signals from various body parts and sending them to appropriate parts of the cerebral cortex for processing.
Examples:
Thalamus function, thalamus injury. Damage to the thalamus can lead to sensory processing disorders and disruptions in perception.
Sensory.
Of or relating to the physical senses.
Examples:
A sensory organ. A child with sensory issues. Sharks have highly developed sensory systems and are extremely sensitive creatures.
Medial.
Referencing or situated in the middle of something, pertaining to or located near the axis of the body.
Examples:
Medial thigh. Medial approach. The medial side of the knee is prone to injury in certain sports like soccer and basketball.
Cortex.
The outermost layer of an organ, especially the brain.
Examples:
Cortex cells. Visual cortex neuron. The cerebral cortex consists of 6 layers.
Posterior.
Positioned behind or at the back of something.
Examples:
The posterior section of the body. Posterior process. The human tongue composes of anterior and posterior parts.
Singular.
Being only one of its kind, unique.
Examples:
Singular purpose. Singular goal. The singular beauty of the night sky never ceases to amaze him.
Imagery.
The use of words or pictures in books, photographs, paintings, etc., that produces pictures in the minds of people, the ability to form mental images of things or events.
Examples:
Visual imagery. Satellite imagery. This movie is famous for its romantic imagery.
Knob.
A round handle, especially one used for opening or closing a door, drawer, or cabinet.
Examples:
Handy knob. Knob closure. The knob on the drawer was loose and needed to be tightened.
Supercharge.
To increase the power or energy of something.
Examples:
Supercharge economic growth. Supercharge the battery. They supercharged the engine to get more power.
Wholesale.
The sale of goods in large quantities, typically for resale by retailers, of or relating to goods or services that are sold in large quantities, typically for resale by retailers or other intermediaries.
Examples:
wholesale business, wholesale dealer in fish. Our company specializes in the wholesale of office supplies.
Unlock.
To open something, such as a door, window, etc., usually using a key.
Examples:
unlock a door with a key. Unlock value. The customs officer required the traveler to unlock his suitcase.
Long-lasting.
Existing or continuing for a long time.
Examples:
long-lasting battery. A long-lasting friendship. They finally decided to solve the long-lasting problem.
Demonstrate.
To display something or give an exhibition to an interested audience.
Examples:
demonstrate a difference. Demonstrate mastery. How can you demonstrate that the Earth is a sphere?
Negative.
Having the quality of something bad or harmful, expressing refusal.
Examples:
have a negative effect. A negative number. The movie has received almost universally negative criticism.
Reduction.
A decrease in size, amount, or degree.
Examples:
reduction strategy. A gradual reduction. The reduction in carbon emissions has been significant since the implementation of the new policy.
Observe.
To watch or notice something carefully, often to gather information or insights, to take note of something or someone, to celebrate or commemorate a special event or occasion.
Examples:
observe a tradition. Observe wildlife. It is important to observe safety procedures in the workplace to prevent accidents.
Administer.
To oversee and control the operation or arrangement of something.
Examples:
administer justice. Administer the funds. After the accident, 3 governmental bodies administer the company.
Accompany.
To go somewhere or travel with someone or something.
Examples:
accompany a chicken dish. Accompany the book. Please let me know if you want to accompany me to my hometown.
Primitive.
Of or relating to an early stage of society with no industry or technological development, simple, naive, or old-fashioned in style.
Examples:
primitive society. Artifact of a primitive humankind. The industry in this country is still primitive.
Amygdala.
One of 2 parts of the almond-shaped neural structure that are linked to emotions, especially fear and pleasure, memory, and the sense of smell.
Examples:
the decline in amygdala activity. Amygdala damage. The amygdala has been associated with memories of past emotional events.
Separate.
To force, take, or pull apart, mark as different.
Examples:
separate video into chapter. Separate cream from milk. We need to separate the aspect of his personality from the part of his competence when making an investment decision.
Depress.
To make someone feel sad, low in spirits, or without hope, to make markets, businesses, etc., less active.
Examples:
depress their spirits. Depress crop prices. The economic recession depressed the housing market.
Substantial.
Fairly large in size, value, or importance.
Examples:
a substantial amount of capital. Have a substantial meal. The pandemic was a substantial business opportunity for certain companies.
Depression.
A mental condition in which a person feels very unhappy and without hope for the future, a severe recession in an economy or market.
Examples:
the Great Depression. The root problem of her depression. Depression symptoms might include a decrease in appetite and weight loss.
Severity.
The quality or condition of being severe, strict, or harsh.
Examples:
the severity of cold. High severity. The severity of the drought was a major concern for farmers.
Specifically.
Only associated with or meant for one thing.
Examples:
designed specifically for men. For specifically American customers. This ad campaign is aimed specifically at young women.
Associate.
To mentally connect someone or something with someone or something else.
Examples:
associate alcohol with gambling. Associate with people widely. The majority of consumers associate this brand with quality.
Frank.
Honest and sincere, open and candid in expression.
Examples:
frank and open discussion. Make a frank apology. Full involvement means frank and prompt responses.
Neural.
Of or relating to a nerve or the nervous system that includes the brain.
Examples:
neural stem cells. Neural networks in AI. There was a disturbance of neural function.
Circuit.
In electrical engineering, an electrical device that provides a path for electrical current to flow, a journey or route around a particular place or area.
Examples:
circuit breaker. Federal Circuit Courts. An intelligent battery has a voltage monitoring circuit.
Bias.
A strong feeling in favor of or against one group of people, an idea, or thing, often not based on fair judgment.
Examples:
Bias against a big company. Have a bias towards socialism. She researched gender bias in politics.
Relief.
A feeling of happiness and relaxation that comes when something burdensome is removed or reduced.
Examples:
Tax relief. Sigh of relief. He devoted his life to establishing a humanitarian relief fund.
Grip.
The act of holding on to something firmly with your hands, or the ability to do so. Verb, to hold fast or firmly.
Examples:
Grip of fear. Lose my grip. He had a firm grip on the rope as he climbed the mountain.
Claw.
A curved, pointed appendage found on the foot or leg of an animal, used for gripping or grasping. A human hand with long, narrow fingers that are curved like a claw. A machine or tool with a claw-like opening used for gripping or lifting objects.
Examples:
Claw marks. Claw hammer. The bear used its claw to catch a fish in the river.
Perspective.
A certain attitude towards something, a particular style of thinking about something.
Examples:
A perspective view. Perspective of the battle. His father's death changed his whole perspective on life.
Medical.
Relating to the treatment of illness or injuries, relating to the practice of medicine.
Examples:
A medical opinion. Temporary medical treatment. The medical team worked quickly to save the patient's life.
Indication.
A sign or remark that something exists, is real, or is likely to occur.
Examples:
Indication of inflation. Environmental indication. Faces are a good indication of age.
Treatment.
The way in which someone deals with or behaves towards someone or something, medical care provided to a patient for an injury or illness.
Examples:
First aid treatment. Treatment by diet. The primary purpose of the treatment is pain relief.
Resistant.
Not affected by something, especially changes or new ideas, of or relating to immunity, to disease or infection.
Examples:
Penicillin-resistant bacteria. Resistant to persuasion. Insects in urban areas are becoming resistant to insecticides.
Anxiety.
A feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something that is happening or might happen in the future.
Examples:
Diagnosis of anxiety disorder. Anxiety for knowledge. She waited for her daughter with anxiety.
Cancer.
Abnormal growth of cells that can invade and destroy surrounding tissues and organs. A disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells.
Examples:
Cancer diagnosis. Cancer research. Breast cancer is the most common type of cancer in women.
Diagnose.
To determine or distinguish the nature of a problem or an illness through a careful analysis.
Examples:
Diagnose the problem. Diagnose with CT scans. This device is used to diagnose brain cancer and other tumors.
Accumulate.
To collect or acquire a large number of things over a long period of time.
Examples:
Accumulate cash value. Accumulate evidence. He has accumulated his wealth through real estate investments.
Cocaine.
A highly addictive stimulant drug that is derived from the leaves of the coca plant, often used recreationally for its euphoric effects, but also used in medicine as a local anesthetic and vasoconstrictor.
Examples:
Powder cocaine. Cocaine overdose. The drug dealer was arrested for possession of cocaine.
Addition.
The act or process of adding something to something else, the process of adding numbers.
Examples:
Chemical addition. Addition of vectors. In addition, private corporations provide healthcare services.
Underway.
Having started and currently in progress.
Examples:
Just getting underway. Campaign now underway. This project has been underway for several years.
Intractable.
Difficult to manage or control, stubborn or obstinate.
Examples:
Intractable pain. Intractable situation. The intractable problem defied a solution.
Opioid.
Substances that have an effect similar to opium, such as morphine, used in medicines to treat severe pain, but some people take them illegally for pleasure and become addicted.
Examples:
An opioid analgesic. Opioid receptor. Treatment for opioid dependence may be a long-term process.
Anorexia.
A serious eating disorder characterized by an intense fear of gaining weight or becoming overweight, along with a persistent refusal to eat an adequate amount of food, resulting in significant weight loss, malnutrition, and a wide range of physical and psychological consequences.
Examples:
Anorexia symptoms. Anorexia treatment. Many people suffer from anorexia nervosa, and require professional treatment to recover.
Panacea.
A remedy or solution that is believed to be a cure for all illnesses or problems, something that is seen as a universal cure-all.
Examples:
Panacea solution. No panacea for economic woes. Many people believe that exercise is the panacea for all health problems.
Skeptical.
Doubting that something is accurate or useful.
Examples:
A skeptical attitude. Skeptical scientists. His religious and philosophical beliefs were utterly skeptical.
Disparate.
Very different or distinct from something else, and is not connected or comparable in any way.
Examples:
Disparate impact. Physically disparate location. The organization worked to bring together disparate groups in the community.
Thread.
A fine cord of natural or synthetic fibers or filaments, such as cotton or nylon, used in sewing, knitting, or weaving. A series of connected messages or comments on a social media platform or online forum, often related to a particular topic. A sequence or line of events, ideas, or actions that are connected or related. Verb: to pass a thread through a needle or other small opening. In preparation for sewing or stitching.
Examples:
Thread a catheter. Start a new thread. The detective followed a thread of clues which ultimately led to the suspect's arrest.
Disconnect.
To unfasten or disjoin something, especially to break the connection between a supply of gas, water, or electricity and a piece of equipment.
Examples:
Disconnect a plug. Disconnect the water supply. She finally decided to disconnect herself from the company.
Mold.
A hollow container used to give shape to liquid or soft substance, which then becomes solid in the same shape as the container. A soft, green, or gray growth that forms on stale food or objects exposed to warm, moist air for too long.
Examples:
A casting mold. Mold allergy. Mushrooms and mold are fungi.
Represent.
To speak, act, or be present on behalf of another person or group, to form or constitute.
Examples:
Represent by a diagram. The characters that represent numbers. We elected him to represent us at the international conference.
Punch.
To strike someone or something with one's fist, to make a hole in something.
Examples:
Punch out numbers. Punch a ticket. He punched the wall in anger.
Operate.
To work in a particular way, to supervise something.
Examples:
Operate 24 hours a day. Manually operate a machine. This machine is too difficult to operate for me.
Contribute.
To give something, especially money or goods, to provide or achieve something together with other people.
Examples:
contribute a large sum of money to the fund. Contribute to society. Government workers cannot contribute to political campaigns.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Recover.
To return to a former condition, health, mind, or strength.
Examples:
recover a loss. Recover approval ratings. She is still recovering from a shot to her shoulder.
Impressive.
Arousing admiration due to size, quality, or skill.
Examples:
impressive performances. An impressive array of facts. The budget reduction was an impressive feat for our nation.
Stigma.
A mark of shame or disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person.
Examples:
social stigma. Stigma against obesity. The mental health stigma often prevents people from seeking treatment.
Myth.
An ancient story or set of stories accepted as history, especially explaining the worldview of a people.
Examples:
the myth of an old religion. Perpetuate a myth. With the financial bubble bursting, the myth of economic growth in investment banking collapsed.
Addictive.
Causing a strong desire or compulsion to use or consume repeatedly, often to the point of dependency or harm, habit forming.
Examples:
highly addictive. Addictive substance. The new video game was so addictive that he stayed up all night playing it.
Genetic.
Of or relating to genes, equals parts of the DNA in cells, or the science of genes.
Examples:
have genetic testing. A genetic disorder. Understanding protein folding is a vital step in deciphering the genetic code.
Abnormal.
Not typical, usual, or regular, especially in a way that is bad.
Examples:
abnormal heart rhythms. Abnormal cells. An abnormal climate in the region caused a sharp decline in grain harvest.
Defect.
An imperfection, shortcoming, or lack of something or someone. Visual defects. Defects of character. Defects in the design could cause much worse issues.
Exposed.
Having no protection or shield from something, such as bad weather, attack, or criticism.
Examples:
Exposed to radiation. An exposed rock. Tech companies often employ exposed ducts and other materials in their office interiors.
Insane.
Extremely stupid, crazy, or dangerous, mentally ill.
Examples:
Go insane with pleasure. An insane scheme. Her excessive demands drove me insane.
Pervasive.
Spreading or existing throughout every part of a thing or place.
Examples:
Pervasive language. The pervasive odor of garlic. Suspicion and worry were pervasive in our minds.
Necessarily.
In an essential manner, in such a way as could not be otherwise.
Examples:
Not necessarily a problem. Necessarily true. This accident was something that happened necessarily.
Outcome.
The result or effect of an action, event, etc.
Examples:
Improved student outcomes. A desirable outcome. They awaited news of the outcome of the election.
Incredibly.
In a way that is very difficult to believe, exceedingly or extremely.
Examples:
Incredibly cheerful character. Get incredibly insecure. Several cities are experiencing incredibly high unemployment rates.
Identify.
To recognize someone or something and say or prove who or what they are.
Examples:
Identify handwriting. Identify gene sequences. I will introduce you to how to identify the leading causes of the malfunction.
Reconnect.
To connect again after a break or interruption.
Examples:
Reconnect a telephone. Reconnect with family. After a long period of estrangement, they reconnected with each other.